Well, we're going to talk about watering, which at the moment with the heat waves that we've had and continuing the summer ahead of us, we really have to take very seriously indeed if we want to keep our plants alive. So I think the best thing to do is to look at these in categories. We'll start with seedlings and then we'll go on to bigger plants that we're potting up for the garden. Then we'll go to container plants for year round. First of all, we've got the seedlings here, and you can see that some look a little bit dry. There's a breeze around at the moment. The thing is not to overwater them and not to water them so strongly with the rose or the hose that you're going to damage them. But they're outside, and so you want to use a fairly light bit of watering to water them over the top. Now obviously if you've got a lot of them, you need to do it more mechanically, but if you've just got a few trays, you can water them like that and they'll do for the day. These have just been brought outside from inside. I think the thing is with seedlings you've just brought out from the greenhouse, firstly you need to be sure that they're not going to get too hot immediately, so ideally you'd shade them for the first day or two, and then make sure they're well watered, of course. But if it's hot weather and you're gone for a day or more during the daytime when it's going to be hot, I'd move them into the shade or put some shade structure over the top of them. Well, the next category, I suppose, is really anything that you're likely to put into the garden. And of course with this hot weather we don't want to put out immediately because with a big garden plants are going to be all over. But if you're watering miscanthus here, they're ones I split from another group and want to plant out, you firstly can just get an idea how dry they are before you water. Now that you just give everything a water, but this one is lighter, and this one these are more than ready to go out. Look at the roots on those, and if that was dry, and it dries out very quickly, it uses up water much more quickly than perhaps a plant that's just been potted. Well, these are plants actually I'm trialing or trying to keep in containers. This one does have a surface that means it will retain the moisture probably more, but it needs watering a lot. As you can see, it's very vigorous in growth and would soon show up any lack of water because all the leaves would droop. But I don't want that to happen because the plant then has to recover. So this is a buddleia. Very strong one, it's going to look fantastic. This is a conifer which also is several years old, probably 15-20 years old, and I was aware that I nearly lost it. In fact, the brown bit at the top means that it didn't get enough moisture. This is a terracotta pot, and you can get an idea, of course you can't lift that one, you can get an idea of how full it is with roots. And this needs a lot of water. You know, this is rather a fancy terracotta pot, and there's one to the left there too, which I'm got some shrubs in. These are for the long term. But the main thing is to remember is the terracotta pot breathes, and therefore it will lose much more moisture than the plastic pot. So that in the winter time, if you've got to have something that drains well, then you're better to put in a plastic pot, terracotta pot. So that's a plastic pot, and it retains moisture. It will hold the moisture during the summer, and the same with this cupressus. Lucky enough, we are able to water, and of course we have to water because the public come in and have a look around the garden. So we have artesian wells that help us pump the water around, so we try and keep up, and of course it's quite a job at the moment. But if you're an individual with a smaller garden, then certainly you can see here an area we planted up. I planted that last night, a new viburnum, which I hadn't seen before. But normally speaking, if you put a bit of mulch around the top, and in this case I'm using some bark that I can replace, but put the bark around there, so it's primarily bark. That will help to stop it drying out, and we'll see what that does. Otherwise, anything recently planted, just keep an eye on it and water it. Well, we use composted bark, pine bark mostly. It's fairly clean and sterile and so on, and does a good job. But of course, if you don't have it, then you have to look for something that's much cheaper and local to you. Well, when you have trees in your garden, you should get leaf mold of it. Save the leaves, rake them up in the autumn, put them in a pen, small pen, and it will give you compost. Otherwise, there isn't much except to cut down and keep together things like miscanthus and grasses and so on. But you don't want weeds in amongst your compost. You want to have it weed-free. But those are some things you could use. Well, this is quite a nice corner, if you like, and particularly later in the year when it's in full flower. I should plant a geranium roseanne in there to give it a bit of colour now. But further back it gets very dry. You've got the ivy on the wall, big-leaved ivy. But the tree here, as it gets bigger, the surface gets bigger, then it dries up more of the area around it. And I think you'll find anything close to tree roots, be it a silver birch or something else that's shallow rooting, might need more water than you would think. So bear that in mind as well when you're watering.